Good morning, everybody. Glad to have you here this morning. If you will, again, like, share, comment on the post, and then we're just going to look at one verse today. I think there's a good reminder for us here in Acts chapter 17, verse 22. It says, "So Paul, standing in the midst of the Areopagus, said, 'Men of Athens, I perceive that in every way you are very religious.'" Paul is at Mars Hill. He is there, and as he looks around, he is standing in a place where the world's greatest minds, the greatest philosophers, men we've heard of, may not know much about them, Socrates and Plato and Aristotle, some of the great minds, the great philosophers of the time had come together, and they would meet here, and they would have great discussions and discourses on all the world's events, the philosophies, all those great thoughts that they had, and they would debate those back and forth. And here stands Paul in that great arena, about to give them the greatest wisdom, the greatest message that could ever be delivered. And he had a very willing audience. Again, they came here for this reason, to hear hear men stand up and deliver these great thoughts, so that then they could debate and go back and forth discussing these issues. Now, the truth is that probably pretty much without exception, this was a group of pagans. They were a group of heathens. Again, they were great minds, and could debate and discuss pretty much any topic at length, except the one that Paul is about to bring up. Paul is about to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ, and they knew nothing about this message. And so they, with all the great wisdom and all the great knowledge that they have heard and discussed, they're about to get the greatest message that has ever been proclaimed, and that is the great news that God made himself human, that he came to earth, took on the form of man by sending his son Jesus into this world to die on a cross to save us from sin, death, from an eternity in hell. That God himself was very interested and involved in the lives of men, was concerned about man, and they were about to hear a message of this nature for the first time in all of their great discussions. Much of their opinion and their understanding of the gods that they would discuss were of gods who were far, far away, who could care less about the affairs of man. And Paul is about to tell them a different message altogether, the greatest message that they would ever hear. And I want to leave you today. Again, I'm just going to look at this one thought, because we'll begin tomorrow then breaking down the message that Paul actually delivers. But I just want to remind you today that we don't have anything to be ashamed of in the gospel of Jesus Christ. Many times we get embarrassed or even afraid to tell people about Christ. But Paul stands among the greatest minds in history who have debated some of the greatest thoughts and philosophies in history, and he stands up and boldly puts the gospel of Jesus Christ in front of them and challenges them with that message. We need to remember that we have the greatest message that can be told. That we have a message that is unparalleled, that no other philosophy, no other religion compares to the story that we have, the message that we have to proclaim, that God sent his only son into this world to take on flesh, to walk among men, to ultimately die on a cross and give his life's blood that we might be forgiven, that we might be saved and be able to spend an eternity in heaven with him. Don't be afraid of that message today. Tell somebody about Jesus. If Paul could stand among these great minds and tell people about Christ, surely we can go and tell our neighbors, our co-workers, our family and friends, and share this great message with them. Think about it. We'll see you here tomorrow morning.